Hi, I'm Dr. Rajeena Shahin. I'm the Medical Director for PAN, Physicians Association for Nutrition, India branch. PAN India is the Indian branch of PAN International, which is on a mission to reduce the diet-related diseases globally by bringing nutrition into the core of the healthcare system. Basically, training doctors and healthcare professionals to practice evidence-based nutrition intervention into the clinical practice. By doing so, we are also engaging these doctors in food transformation required for addressing the major healthcare challenges of our century, basically the NCDs, climate crisis, and pandemic risk. And in Mumbai, this is our 11th CME, and we had almost 500 registrations, and we are expecting around 200 doctors here. And such an overwhelming response, we had to reduce. We have to stop the registrations at around 400 numbers, and I'm highly thankful and grateful for PAN International for this opportunity, and also our trustee organization, Ahimsa Trust, our sponsors, our ambassadors from Mumbai, our volunteers, our panelists, our speakers, our social media team, everybody who's involved in spreading this mission forward. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Dr. Rupa Shah, a medical doctor for 40 years. I passed out from Mumbai University in 1983 and I'm practicing medicine in Mumbai. At the age 47, I understood for the first time the role of nutrition in our health. Nothing like this was taught in our medical college. When I saw that nutrition is so important for our disease reversal, I started studying more about it. And now I understand the importance of nutrition for prevention and reversal of lifestyle related diseases like diabetes, blood pressure, hypothyroid, PCOS, obesity, bad lipid profile. This list can go on and on. As doctor, we are taught to just prescribe, not exactly treat the lifestyle diseases in a preventable way or in a reversible way. But now the time is right to create the awareness, and PAN India is the organization which is a subsidiary of PAN Europe, Physicians for Nutrition. And here we are creating awareness in our medical fraternity, something about that is not taught in our medical college. So the role of plant-based diet in disease reversal is extremely important before even you prescribe a medication. And the first and the foremost are our colleagues who need to know about it. I didn't know anything about it 15 years ago. I had to dig out the information, I had to study all the research data and verify. And over the years, a lot more data is published, and that very data that is substantiating the claim of what we are talking, the power of plants in our plate, what we put in our mouth, and what we digest. So PAN India is the foremost Indian organization that is now very active, and we are the Mumbai branch. We have so many doctors today at the event who are going to learn for the first time about the evidence-based, plant-based nutrition data. And then they will understand the way forward they themselves will apply in their life, and they will also inspire their patients that, hey, I have a way. If you don't want to take prescription, try this. And that's exactly is going to happen today. Thank you.
Gratitude to each and every one of you for your boundless enthusiasm. Let's embark on this continuous medical education of WFPB journey with unwavering zeal and determination. Today, we are taking a significant step towards fostering a healthier world, promoting healthier lives, and nurturing a healthier planet as well. The Physician Association for Nutrition stands as an international NGO with a profound mission to eradicate diet-related fatalities on a global scale. Though our concern is about global planet, efforts to integrate nutrition into the very fabric of healthcare, and by relying healthcare professionals to champion the cause of healthy and sustainable food environment, we are striving to make a monumental difference. as we delve into this proceeding of CME, I encourage each one of you to embrace the knowledge, insights, and perspectives shared. Let us not merely be passive participants, but active contributors to this noble cause. And as we conclude, I hope you will consider yourself not just attendees, but integral member of PAN family, dedicated to shaping a healthier tomorrow for all of us. Let's begin the journey. Thank you. Now, I invite all our ambassadors to join us on this stage as we collectively pay homage to nature's intricate beauty, and let us reverently worship the very essence of life embodied in each flourishing plant.
Can we have the Medical Director, Dr. Rajeena Shahin, and Ambassadors, PAN Advisors, Dr. Rupa, Shah, Dr. Sharang, and the Ambassadors, Dr. Anand, Kumta, Dr. Rohit Modi, Dr. Kiran Kulkarni, Dr. Pooja Gogri, Dr. Anuradha Iyer. I don't think those two are there yet. Yes. Anuradha has come. Yes, come in. Yes, Dr. Subhashri, Kaajal Bhatia, of course, Dr. Ajoy Prabhu, Dr. Jenny Prabhu, and Dr. Sanjeev Khanna. He's still on flight. He's about to land. So yes, we can start the...
How are you?
Okay, we just...
So, thank you, ambassadors. Let's inaugurate this morning with the captivating performance by our own esteemed ambassador, Dr. Manali Rao, as she gracefully weaves tradition and artistry through her dance, setting the perfect tone for our CME proceedings. Thank you.
चक्र गधा हस्ते महालक्ष्मी नमोस्तुते नमस्ते भयङ्करी नमस्ते गरुडारूढे कोलासुर भयङ्करी नमोस्तुते सिद्धि बुद्धि प्रदे देवी भुक्ति मुक्ति प्रदायिनी मंत्रमूर्ते महादेवी महालक्ष्मी नमोस्तुते श्वेतांबरधरे देवी नानालंकार भूषिते नानालंकार भूषिते नाना अलंकार भूषिते नानालंकार भूषिते नानालंकार भूषिते अलंकार अलंकार भूषिते जगस्थिते महालक्ष्मी नमोस्तुते महालक्ष्मी नमोस्तुते महालक्ष्मी नमोस्तुते महालक्ष्मी नमोस्तुते
Thank you, Dr. Manali, for this power-packed performance to start our CME. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Rupa on the stage, inspiring us all inspiring us all with her words of wisdom and vision for the transformative journey ahead in this CME. Dr. Rupa, please come and lighten the audience for this.
A very good morning. Myself, I'm Dr. Rupa Shah. I've done my MBBS from Nair Hospital, 1983 batch. It's been about 40 years since I'm a doctor. Just around 15 years ago, I first time heard the word plant-based diet, and I was very curious. So I tried an experiment of giving up dairy products for 30 days. I'm by birth a vegetarian. When I gave up dairy products, not exactly 100%, but maybe 95%, I found tremendous benefit in my own personal health. I lost weight. I was suffering from a migraine headache issue for 18 years that completely disappeared in the first month. Acidity disappeared. My energy levels went up. I was sleeping better. My stress levels went down. I was completely overwhelmed by these results. And 15 years ago, there wasn't much information on internet. We had some CDs, some lectures, some books, even to order books, find them, study about them. But I didn't give up. I said, no medical college taught this. There is no nutrition course. We have only 5 lectures on nutrition. We only know how to prescribe. And that didn't work anyway for so many years. But this one worked, and my connection to diet became very important. So I came across the books like China Study, which is all evidence-based nutrition, one of the largest study in the world, and many more websites. Gradually, as I see through the 15 years, collecting evidence after evidence. Dr. Michael Greger, How Not to Die. So many different books that started coming year after year. And then finally websites with tons of data. So I've been talking to my medical colleagues year after year, but they won't listen. They will just say, oh no, this can't be. It can't be that simple. It can't be what is on your plate and that you put in the mouth and diabetes can reverse, or cholesterol can go down in 1 month. How can that be? But I never gave up. We kept doing talks also for doctors, for general public. And I remember Dr. Nandita Shah's lectures were organized in Indian Medical Association, various venues. We never gave up. We just kept doing it. Finally now, Pan-India is actually a branch of Pan-Europe, which is already dedicated to this cause. The only single-handed one purpose we have is to inspire doctor with the data. Data is there now, pay attention. Before prescription, pay attention that choice should be given to all the patients. I'm sure in the audience today, you yourself might be suffering from type 2 diabetes, maybe hypothyroid, maybe blood pressure, maybe cholesterol high, and maybe you are taking some medication. And maybe that's what we are all taught, management of disease, not for prevention, not for reversal, not for keeping the patient well, but just managing various lifestyle diseases which can be simply helped by first what is on your plate. So today, what I inspire all of you is to keep your mind open. Be ready to unlearn, relearn, and then put it into practice. The best thing is to put it into practice. Today, some of you had the coffee and tea. We didn't publicly say that it was plant-based, but it had plant-based milk in it. And probably most of you just thought it was perfect. So that is another thing that we want to inspire, that how easy, how comfortable it will be, the journey. Today is the beginning point. Listen to our lineup of doctors who are coming from various faculties, are very experienced. They're going to share all this data with you. And we want to build up a Mumbai community of Pan-India, a very thriving community where we will share everything openly, whatever you want to know, and let's take this to the next level. So thank you very much for coming in large numbers on a Sunday morning today. Today will be the life-changing day for all of you. So welcome.
Good morning, everybody. What a pleasure to see a whole room full of doctors that we resonate with what we think. I think coming on a Sunday morning, it's amazing to find so much of energy. The energy is so palpable, the excitement, the willingness to, like Dr. Rupa said, unlearn and relearn. It requires courage. So I'm really happy to see so many courageous people. Not just that, they're very caring. You not only want to do good for yourself, but for your patients. You're here because you want to heal better, heal more and more completely. So I'm Dr. Madhvi Katpal, a dermatologist by profession. And I happen to engage and learn, like all of us, by serendipity, happen to reach the same area of whole plant-based diet through personal or clinical needs. And Dr. Rupa brought us under one roof, and Dr. Rajeena Shahin brought us under Pan India. Because there's one purpose that connects all of us. The purpose is to bring exemplary healthcare professionals together who are practicing evidence-based nutrition, to create an awareness and to show the importance and the impact of a plant-based diet, not just to prevent, but to treat and even reverse chronic diseases. And to make this as a core matrix of healthcare systems in our country. The agenda of not only today's meet and Pan India, the mission is the same. It is not only to teach and spread awareness, but it is more about training doctors also who care enough to bring nutrition into their healthcare and their daily practice, to train them and also build a network for spreading this information. Also to facilitate better food systems and environment, and also to advance this field by more patient-centric research. This is all being helped, already happening because Pan India was, created in 2022, and it's a part of the Pan International, which is a global NGO. When something bad happens, we believe it very easily, but when something good happens, we always doubt. ये कैसे हो सकता है? इतने अच्छे लोग, they're just telling us things off the hat and just sharing everything. So we tend to doubt, are they authentic people? There must be some reason behind that. But we all know that we are all here, and all of you are here because you care enough. You care for yourselves, you care for your patients, your practice, the planet, and the world. So this is a beautiful day. It's a really overwhelming to feel and know that all of you are here, open-minded, ready to take on this challenge and move on and take nutrition as a core, unshakable part of your practice. So the event flow today is going to be, we're going to start with a talk by Dr. Rajeena Shahin, the Medical Director of Pan India. She's going to be talking and introduce Pan India to us. Next will be a talk by Dr. Sharang Wartikar, a vitreoretinal consultant, on the right diet to not die yet. But Dr. Sharang, we are all dying to hear you. Dr. Ajoy Prabhu, a lifestyle medicine expert, will talk on remission of PCOS through lifestyle medicine. Who better than him? He's a DCA, MS Pathology, and an MBA in Marketing with years of experience in lifestyle medicine. We will then have a panel discussion with doctors who are veterans in their field and who will share their experiences and expertise on evidence-based nutrition. Feel free to ask any questions because we have brought the choicest team for you. We have kept the talk of Dr. Sanjeev Khanna last, as dessert is always served last. The most needed and awaited talk on vitamin B12 and non-vegetarianism, myth or reality. Now, Dr. Rajeena Shahin, as a short introduction, it won't be enough, but I'll have to cut short, is the medical director of Pan India and champions the cause of making nutrition a core part of healthcare by engaging health professionals towards healthy and sustainable food environments. Guided by a strong strategy team, advisors, ambassadors, and consultants, she's a leading figure in the field of lifestyle medicine and the founder of a popular health tech firm, IOH. She has pioneered the use of technology in facilitating therapeutic lifestyle interventions. So, ma'am, over to you.
Basically, I'm so super excited and happy to see such a full room on a Sunday morning, as everybody said. And already, I always felt that I love Bangalore because of the weather, because I've been living there for 20 years, 20 plus years. and I have a lot of friends. But after coming to Mumbai yesterday, or rather when we started the program discussion itself, I started loving Mumbai. Because the energy, I always thought I'm the only champion, who's thinking that nutrition should be the primary line of management and stuff. And then I see people 100 times more passionate about me, about this domain than myself. So I'm in love with Mumbai. Really, this is not just for the speech, I'm really in love with the energy of Mumbai. Yeah. So I've been doing this for the last 14, 15 years. Again, as Dr. Rupa's, most of us who are into the field always have some history of their relative or themselves transformed. My transformation happened when my daughter was around 3-4 months, and my husband was diagnosed with metabolic syndrome. He was in a cardiac ICU. That's how we started the changing. We started changing to a whole food plant predominant eating pattern initially. He was 110 kgs, brought down to 88, all conditions reversed. It was just like Madhavi ma'am was saying, something good happens, we always doubt. Even including myself, I felt, okay, there is some other force which acted actually. We could never believe that food could be so powerful, so potential, so to reverse something like that actually. That's how my journey started. And we started a company followed by IOH and followed by joining PAN, because I felt that we need to change the ecosystem around this actually. More and more doctors need to come into the picture, because currently what happens is somebody else is disseminating the information. We need to be talking to our patients to change the way they need to change. Lot of PAN-related information is already been provided by Dr. Rupa ma'am and also Dr. Madhavi ma'am. I just explain a bit detail about what does it mean by engaging healthcare professionals. Basically, what we are doing is we are first training doctors about evidence-based nutrition. What we need to understand is actually there is lots of evidence, 50, 60 years of evidence out there. We need to be able to analyze it and start practicing it. Nobody is saying that straight away blindly go to plant-based. Start being part of the group, engage with us, learn with us. Let's form, as ma'am said, a large, strong Mumbai team, and then let's start learning about it. Once you start learning, you will start practicing. We will also be facilitating resources and tools to practice the same. Second part of it is, just like our ambassadors, more and more people come forward and be part of a volunteer team or multiple teams, and let's pass this mission forward. And also engage with us in changing the policy, or facilitating policy changes, industry bodies. Industry bodies, we have a lot of people here. I mean, at least 10% of the people are from industries. We also need to be in par, because we are the healers. We need to be advocating for better health food systems actually. Better food systems will definitely lead to nutrition equity. Nutrition equity will lead to definitely health equity. That's what we need to, we just not only just focus on our kind of practice, but also be part of a larger system to change the world, the way it functions, or the food system it functions. Oh yeah, sorry. So this madam has already discussed. We are dealing with, by doing this, we are actually addressing individual health, planetary health, and pandemic risk. I think Dr. Sharang will be dealing in detail about it, so I'm not getting into the details of this. So PAN, as already mentioned, we are actually training doctors. We are actually working with policymakers to integrate evidence-based nutrition into the curriculum. Third is actually, we are also, as I mentioned, policymakers, industry bodies and stuff, and we are also working with collaborations, actually, better collaboration to facilitate better food systems, better healthcare systems. Yeah, ma'am already told why nutrition is needed into the core of the healthcare system. Anybody changed their nutrition or dietary practices over the years, other than the ambassadors and the people with us? Excellent. So how many years back, sir? Wow, okay, excellent, wonderful actually. Yeah, yes ma'am.
I changed the nutrition. We went gluten-free for my mom, who's an interstitial lung fibrosis patient. And we saw immediate results with her ESRs coming down drastically
Wow.
with change in dietary.
Practices.
Yes,
So
along
that's
with
a
homeopathy.
very anti-inflammatory diet, so all the
Yes.
inflammatory markers will come down. Awesome. Perfect.
Thank you.
Yes.
Hello everyone, I am Ila Pathak. I am a dietitian. I had been practicing the regular nutrition which I was taught in college. It was in 2018 when I met Kaajal Bhatia, who is also my mentor, and she introduced me to plant-based nutrition. After that, I have been practicing plant-based nutrition.
Wow.
I have made changes since I was nearing my menopause. I was in my perimenopause. I was told by my doctor to undergo a hysterectomy. That is when I completely quit dairy, and it has been now 5 years. I'm completely okay. I didn't have to do any hysterectomy,
Yes.
and everything is fine.
Excellent. Now I think, yes, yes. Should we wait? Okay, please, please, please. Yeah, sure, sure.
Hi.
One more that backs.
Hello, my name is Arshad Parekh. I am vegan for 33 years. And because of the plant-based diet, I have survived through 3 cancers, 1 stroke, 2 kidney disease, and 1 Crohn disease.
Wow. Excellent.
Hi, so I'm a nutritionist. I'm based out at Thane. So in my practice, it works, and it works wonderfully, I will say. So the diet, plant-based diet, it's really helpful. And there are many studies with me where we are able to help people, and they enjoy the journey. It is how we put forward, right? And they enjoy the journey.
Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes, one more. Yes.
Can you hear me? Yeah, my name is Gautam Dandekar. I healed my ankylosing spondylitis completely
Gautam, yes.
completely by diet and nutrition. I mean, I was a hopeless case. For 3 years, I was stuck at home. I could not get up from the chair. I could not properly lie down. I had to stop my business. Completely bankrupted because of ankylosing spondylitis. And doctors were only offering me biologics, at least around 3.5 lakhs to 5 lakh rupees cost. Or the other alternative was NSAIDs and disease-modifying drugs and stuff. So there is actually no hope. So then I read about, you can heal yourself or you can help yourself with change in nutrition.
Yes.
Because I was a complete newbie in that. So I said, okay, I'll try. So for 3 months, I changed my food. And on a scale of 10, I was somewhere around 8.5. From 8.5, I came to 6. 6 is also very painful. But for me, 6 was very nice. So I went back to all my rheumatologists in Hinduja Hospital and all the private consultants in Bombay, orthopedic doctors also. So they actually kind of laughed at me. They said, it's all in your mind. It is like the waxing and waning. These are cycles. They come and they go. Ye sab tumhare dimag ka vahm hai. I said, no, sir. I'm doing it. I can feel the changes. I have not added Ayurveda. I have not added homeopathy. Pure allopathy is still I'm taking your tablets, but I changed my food.
Thank you so much. Gautam, I would like you to be there with us in the press meet because they also needed some cases actually.
Sure, and
Yeah,
last
we'll
point,
connect.
my ESR CRP came down normal.
Excellent, excellent. That's very obvious, yes. Okay, yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I'm Dr. Poonam Vaswani, dermatologist and sister-in-law of Dr. Madhavi.
Wow, oh, okay, hi. Okay.
And we both are dermatologists. She told me, I think many years back, maybe 15 years back, change their diet. But initially I'm a real allopath and I never used to
naturally.
believe. And I'm practicing 46 years.
Excellent.
So I think since 15 years, I said, let me try. And really, I mean, my acne, PCOS, heat stroke syndrome, and obesity are much, much better with the diet.
I think there is some other epigenetics played because Dr. Madhavi and you look similar. Yes. Okay. So basically, I was also like when I was trying to change, so I was thinking like why this nutrition is not practiced on a larger scale by the medical fraternity, then I also went into the details of what are the challenges we face today, as of today. If you look at these challenges, basically 90% of the things is related to nutrition. You know that NCD is basically, major culprit is nutrition or lifestyle. And climate crisis, which Dr. Sharang is going to talk about it, which again, a major calamity, a health crisis of our century, which is again related to nutrition. Talk about pandemic, talk about antibiotic resistance. Everything has a connection to nutrition and food system. So 90% of the challenges as a healthcare professional we face, the root cause is nutrition. But we, at the apex of the healthcare system, none of us are addressing it. The reason being, we never, as Dr. Rupa ma'am said, we never been taught nutrition. That's why we are here. Basically, this is something which I always, feel that it had to be emphasized in our med schools, actually. But, it's always like the cost factor, root factor, we just brush through and we just get directly into the pharmaceutical agents, which is definitely needed in cases which is not responding to nutrition or lifestyle. But we always give that the emphasis, and the nutrition and lifestyle take a backseat. So when you look at the hierarchy of causality of this chronic diseases, you can see that there are distal causes, medial causes, proximal and risk factors. What are we doing? Anybody? As a physician, what do? A patient comes to you with hypertension or diabetes, you always prescribe a medication, right? So you are working at the risk factor level, the rightmost, whereas you have the power and the potential to do at least the medial and distal causes if you spend some time with the patient. I do agree that we may need more and more resources and tools to practice this, but we need to start somewhere. So from today, after listening to all of us, at least some basic guideline need to be, incorporated into the clinical practice. So this is, I already mentioned industrialization, the way of eating that we changed, which is leading to obesity and, planet crisis. And again, this is suboptimal diet. What do you know about the dietary issues which is causing these diseases? Anybody? Why we are recommending plant-based diet? Why we say that it is evidence-based? Anybody? Anybody? Okay. So all these years, I'm again, getting back to the 1950. Yes? Yes? Stress is one factor. Toxins is one factor. And yes, one factor. Yeah, great. Yes.
A lot of genetically modified food, a lot of pesticides, a lot of chemicals being added. So if we go really close to nature, we'll be getting the whole plant-based.
Yeah, I think it is very much audible. Yeah, thank you so much. Anybody else?
Fibers in the diet.
Wonderful.
A lot of nutrition which is promoted is industry-driven and market-driven. So we need to refocus on the
Real stuff, exactly. So, perfect. Yes, please. I wanted the ambassadors to be out of the thing. You want to talk? Exactly, yeah. Perfect. Very good, very good. Yes. Excellent, excellent. Okay, I'm so happy. We need to go back to that. Excellent. And actually, the best part of this group is actually, unlike 11 CME, I see a lot of real engagement, real interest in the field. Everybody is giving some sort of an answer. They thought about it. It's beautiful. So what science talks about is over the last 70, 80 years of research, from Framinghams to 7 countries to the latest research. If you look at nurses study, healthcare professional study, all of them, if you combine all these you know, even if you check the websites of Harvard and Stanford Med School and John Hopkins, you can see a commonality. What is the commonality? This is published in Lancet also. The diet which is overconsumed, which is rich in sodium, trans fat, saturated fats, sugar, sweetened beverages, are the major culprit, one of the culprit. And also we're not limiting to that, we are also under consuming the ones which is required for our body to heal, repair, regenerate. That's not there. Which are the ones? Basically the fiber, phytonutrient rich food, which is basically vegetables, fruits, nuts, seeds. That's not there. And we are over consuming the other things like red meat, which is rich in saturated fat. Dairy, which is rich in saturated fat. You know that ghee, 1 tablespoon can give you 8.9 grams of saturated fat. Whereas American Heart Association says that you need to limit your saturated fat consumption to 5 to 6% of the calories. On an average, it comes around 12 grams. So actually, we are not looking at the regulations. Even regulatory guidelines is saying that, not directly, but indirectly they are saying it. So we need to change the way we are eating. We need to change the way we are eating into a healthier pattern. That's the same only. Then when it comes to India, India is a vegetarian country. We are not eating much of any of these unhealthy stuff. What? Again, Eat Lancet committed one of the report. There are a few reports from India, which is also on similar lines, but that's why I put the slide together. It's saying that we may not be consuming animal meat as much, you know, only 30% of the population is completely vegetarian, rest, some part they are eating non-vegetarian. But our food system is designed in such a way that it is actually high in refined carbohydrate in the form of white rice, white maida and stuff. Okay. At the same time, we are under consuming our proteins and vegetables and fruits. Proteins in the sense, though vegetarian or non-vegetarian, look at the pattern, you will see 80% of their plate is filled with the grains, refined white grains, and some kind of a, you know, proteins actually. And we are not capitalizing, I mean, we are one of the largest producer of you know, legumes, but we are not capitalizing on them. We are actually depending a lot on our grains for energy. So the food system needs to change. And the change is not just blindly following something, but understand, discuss with your doctor, and then change actually. So what is the adjustment needed is the first thing actually. First, definitely eat more fruits, vegetables, limit animal products, but at the same time, understand these things and then learn these things and then advocate for the same. So any non-communicable diseases, all these answers boils down to one thing. The primary line of management for any chronic diseases should be lifestyle intervention. Medical therapy has its role, but it has to be optimized. Not for every case which comes to your clinic, you're going to give medications. First, ask them to change their eating pattern to plant-predominant, plant-based eating pattern. And then ask them to come back again 6 months, 3 months. You know, there was a physician in BMCR, right? He has actually come up with 3-4 cases where he has shifted their eating pattern. One guy, you know, like a typical, one guy who's highly into meat products actually because of his religious things and all. He completely changed his 120 kg. He was like 46 or something, brought it down to around 80. His all conditions disappeared, and then a group of people changed. That's how we need to make this happen actually. And otherwise what we'll be doing, we always think that we are cream of the society, we are like, you know, we get into medicine with so much of filtration and stuff, and still what we are doing is we are mopping the floor. Our intelligence is used to mop the floor. You understood this picture where there is a leak tap that we are not addressing that one, rather we are actually keeping on mopping the floor. And then actually I see a lot of physician burnout also because they keep on doing this and finally they get frustrated, right? Doing the same thing over and over again. Just start changing the people's life. Evidence-based nutrition, primarily focused on plant-based diet, is highly potential, not only to reverse diseases, but also to help them live a very thriving life. Actually, if you're not introducing them to that, actually you're taking a privilege out of your patient. Please do not do that actually. Start practicing this. Why doctors and nutritionists? Very simple. Because currently the nutrition information is disseminated by influencers and other media people. We need to take charge of it because we know the human body much better than anybody else. And we need to only learn a bit of nutrition. That's all actually. But that we will come up with more and more courses and other stuff. And we also have done a KAB, a study which is saying that once doctors start taking the nutrition, people will listen to you because nutrition is allied healthcare. Or we need to bring in a structure where there is a multidisciplinary team which is managing it, just like Dean Ornish group. What they do is, they have a system where there is a nutritionist, there is a physical fitness expert, and then people are getting complete package of the whole thing, and they're able to change their pattern. Evidence-based nutrition, this I've already discussed. So then I already mentioned that there is always a lot of guidelines which is saying what is good diet. Everything, look at the Eat Lancet to Canadian food plate to ICMR food plate, everything is saying half of the plate to be filled with the fruits and vegetables. How many of you fill half of your plate, lunch plate, fruits and vegetables? Yeah, good number, yeah. Mumbai is great. I think Rupa ma'am has really influenced the whole of Mumbai. Wonderful. Yeah, I think, there is lots of evidence. Please go through these things. We will share these PPTs. I'm not going much because there are other speakers. And as the role is actually start learning, start practicing, be with us to change the way the food system works, change the way healthcare system works, and be with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Rajeena, for this eye-opening presentation. This is our 11th, and after each CME, I add 10 goals to my life. Okay, and this is, I have added 110th goal in my list today. So I hope you must be having your own goal after this presentation. Now we have Dr. Sharang Wartikar with us. Dr. Sharang, please join us on this stage. This is the link, this is the QR code which we will be flashing here for if you guys want to join Pan India's WhatsApp group.
So have you ever wondered why humans actually have to be told what to eat, when to eat, and how much to eat? These people seem to be pretty sorted. They know what is to be done, when it is to be done, how it is to be done, right? And they certainly don't have CMEs like these to just talk about what should we be eating, okay? So my question is, what the hell is wrong with us, right? So the problem is that we eat for convenience, comfort, and pleasure. We have stopped eating for survival, right? And that is what is leading us to suffering and death. We have plenty and we have less, both at the same time. I thank Pan India and Dr. Rajeena ma'am for inviting me here to speak. I'm Dr. Sharang Wartikar. I'm a vitreoretinal surgeon. I practice in Thane. I'm going to talk about the right diet to not die yet, okay? Now, multiple diets are promoted these days. You name it and there's a name for that diet. Whatever you're eating, there'll be a name given for that, okay? And everybody will come and say, okay, I'm the best, I'm the best. I have this study, I have that study, and more and more data keeps coming in. And there's a huge divide if you look, on one side you have an animal diet, on the other side you have a plant-based diet, two extremes. How can people at the same time be advocating these two extremes? It's so difficult to comprehend, right? But let me tell you, studies, they're a lot like bikinis. You know why? They reveal a lot, but they hide the essentials, okay? So we have to understand how these studies are made and how they are coming, how they are funded, what is the logic behind these studies. So today, I won't tell you any nutritional studies suggesting why a whole food plant-based diet is so beneficial, okay? I won't tell you that in diabetes, it has shown to reduce the HbA1c and reduce the medications. I won't be telling you that in cardiovascular disease, it is the only diet which has shown to actually reverse occlusion and that it has lesser cardiovascular and all-cause mortality when you shift to a plant-based diet. I won't tell you the link between autoimmune diseases and the animal products in cases like multiple sclerosis, rheumatoid arthritis, inflammatory bowel disease, ulcerative colitis, Crohn's disease. No, I won't be telling you this. Neither will I tell you that in kidney disease, animal foods increase the acid load and plant food reduce the acid load. Or for that matter, if you consider cancer, red meat and processed meat are number one carcinogens in level with asbestos and smoking. And plant foods are on the contrary anti-cancer foods and protect against multiple types of cancers. I also won't be telling you that studies have shown that the risk of developing moderate to severe COVID was 73% less with plant-based diet, or they protect against multiple other viruses as well. And certainly I won't be telling you that it is the diet which has been shown to reduce body weight, waist circumference, BMI, even without limiting calories or moderating exercise. No, I won't be telling you any of this, okay? Because most of us don't want to listen or see evidence that goes against our beliefs. So if we have been, born and brought up with certain beliefs, on the net also we'll try to search for studies which will confirm with our beliefs. And if we find something else, we'll just shift the page and go to something else. That is, even I do that sometimes, okay? That is how we are tailored. So we have to kind of unlearn, as madam very rightly said. So today allow me to think a little out of the box and not speak about nutritional studies, yet give you evidence as to which is the best diet for us. Now 10,000 years ago, okay, we humans were what are known as foragers, that we used to hunters and gatherers. We used to basically eat whatever we used to find. Then what happened 10,000 years ago? We started doing agriculture. And then what happened? From whatever we could find, we started having whatever we wished for, because it was now in our control. And agriculture, if you see, can be of two types. One, there is plant agriculture, where we grow specific crops for their direct consumption, or it could be animal agriculture, where we grow specific animals for their direct or indirect consumption. Now why am I saying grow animals? Because these animals are not born naturally. They are artificially produced solely for the intention of our consumption. And they provide us with meat, fish, eggs and milk, right? Now let me ask you, so 10,000 years ago, if you look at the mammals on the planet, okay, let's exclude humans right now, all other mammals which were there on the planet, you will see all were in the wild, right? They were all wild animals. Whether you take land animals or you take sea animals, they were all living in the wild. There was no livestock. Now these animals that we grow for food are known as livestock. Humans were not having farming at that time. So today if I ask you, can somebody guess what would be the percentage of these? And this is by weight I am saying, not numbers. Like a blue whale, which is a mammal, will be like equivalent to, I don't know, maybe 100 cows or something. So what would you think would be the percentage of these wild mammals right now? Any guesses? 10% somebody saying, 5% somebody saying. This is what we have done, right? 6% remaining are wild and 94% are livestock. Can you imagine this? You saw those animals, we are talking of elephants and tigers and lions and blue whales and dolphins and whatnot, all put together in the wild are just 6%. 94% by weight is livestock, the animals we have brought onto this planet just for our consumption. Even if you consider humans, the livestock is almost double that of humans also. What about the birds? 71% are chicken. Only 29% are wild birds. So what is wrong with having extra animals? See, in the natural food pyramid, what happens? All animals are born naturally. They all live in the wild. The prey has a fair chance to escape. The hunting is happening in the wild. And the predators start dying out if the, the prey numbers fall. So there's a natural balance that is maintained. What is happening now? We are breeding specific animals, okay? All artificially born with zero chance of escaping. These animals cannot escape anywhere, right? So this pyramid, which is supposed to be like this, okay, what is happening? The top predator itself is growing its prey, right? We are creating the prey for us. Humans are more than 8 billion on this planet, but every year we kill more than 100 billion animals just on land. About the sea I'll come later, but just on land more than 100 billion mammals are killed every year, okay? And the resources are the same. So what will happen? The resources are reducing. We are growing on top and nothing is coming at the base. So this is what the pyramid has become now. And so let us see how much the resources are getting strained, right? I told you I'm going to give you evidence, but no studies, just hard facts. If you compare an animal diet and a plant-based diet, you see the greenhouse gas emissions way more with meat and dairy products. If you look at the land required for producing animal food is way more than for vegetables. Water requirement is way more for meat and dairy as compared to plant. In fact, if you compare the two diets, you will see that the water consumption is 5 times more, greenhouse gas emissions are 7 times more, fossil fluid consumption is 11 times more, and the land required is 14 times more on a meat diet as compared to a plant-based diet. And where does all this land come from? So much land that we are going to require. It comes from deforestation. As I speak, Amazon forest, the size of 3 football fields is getting cut every single minute. I must have been speaking for 5 minutes. 15 football field size is already being cut in the Amazon forest. And for what? 91% of that is to provide for animal requirements, to create pastures for them and to grow food for the animals. Okay? Undoubtedly, animal agriculture is the biggest cause of deforestation. And deforestation leads to biodiversity loss. In that, we are talking of rainforests. In that so much patch, there's so much of life thriving there, and we are just cutting it off in a single stroke. So obviously, there is going to be loss of species. In fact, if you see the species extinction rate currently is 10,000 times higher than the usual rates. In nature, certain species are going to die out. You can't help that. That rate is 3 species dying every year. You know currently what is the rate? 3 species are dying every hour. That is how bad we are, the situation we are creating. We are in fact headed towards the 6th mass extinction. Mass extinction is when a large number of species gets wiped out in a short period of geological time. And that is exactly what is happening. We might be in the mass extinction. The last mass extinction occurred when the dinosaurs were wiped off the face. The previous extinctions were all because of natural causes. This one is purely because of human activity. Every day 1 billion people sleep hungry, 10,000 children die of starvation, and yet 1/3 of the feed is given to animals. What is we produce? We are giving it to the animals instead of giving directly. If we give directly, we have food enough to eliminate hunger 3 times over. And if you give 100 soya beans to a cow, out of that only 6 are going to reach the human stomach. All the others are going to get wasted on the animal, right? Talking of waste, these animals in such huge numbers create waste which is 130 times more than what humans create, with 0 treatment facilities. So where does all this waste go? It is dumped into the oceans. And the oceans are getting destroyed. These are dead zones, zones where no marine life can survive. And these zones are spreading across the oceans. Anybody knows what this picture is of? Plastic, yeah, but this is specifically the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. There are 5 such patches in the Pacific Ocean. Because of the ocean currents, all the plastic that is dumped in the oceans gets collected there. Okay? 5 such patches. This particular patch, the size of this patch? It is more than half the size of India. Okay, and what do we do for that? We don't use plastic bottles. We can see glass bottles are being used here. We promote no plastic straws and 80% of that plastic is fishing gear. 80% is fishing gear. All these nets that are used for fishing, they're just dumped into the ocean, and that is what is collecting there. 3 trillion fish are killed every year. I told you more than 100 billion mammals, or rather animals, land animals are killed. 3 trillion fish are killed. You know, after a while, these numbers don't mean much to us. Billion kya, trillion kya, we don't even understand what it is. You know, we can write as many zeros, but for our mind, it's the same. 5 0 kya, 6 0 kya. So, allow me to just explain this. You know, 3 trillion. If you start counting from 1 to 3 trillion, roughly how much time do you think it will take? Can you finish today? Any guesses? Never. Kabhi to khatam hoga. A 100,000 years. That itself is such a big number that we don't understand how big it is. It is 1,400 lifetimes. Matlab, since birth till you die, if all you do is count, you will have to take birth 1,400 times to count to that number. Similarly, if you start walking these 3 trillion steps, you know how far it can take you? 50,000 trips around the earth. Forget the earth, you can go 3,000 times to the moon and come back. Forget the moon, you can go 8 times to the sun and come back. Light takes 8 minutes to reach from sun to earth. We can go 8 times to the sun and come back. That is how much is 3 trillion. That is the number of fish we are killing every year. No wonder we will have fishless oceans by 2048. Animal agriculture is undoubtedly the leading cause of ocean dead zones, water pollution, species extinction. Well, Indians, like we said, you know, consume less meat. Is that for me, the bell? Yeah. No, I'm just asking. No, 5 minutes? I want to know. I just want to know. Okay, fine, thanks. So are Indians a little better? India is the #1 consumer of dairy, producer and consumer of dairy. India has 1/3 of the cattle of the world. And if you see by global emissions, if you see by species, cattle are the biggest culprits. The ruminant animals, they are the worst as far as greenhouse gas emissions are. But isn't milk the best food? Isn't that what we have been told? Let me ask you, who gives milk? Mammals, right? A mother gives milk. We are told in schools, cow gives milk, sheep gives wool, you know. But it's a mother that gives milk. Even as doctors, we sometimes have to remind ourselves that a cow doesn't give milk all her life. She has to deliver, she has to give a baby in order to produce the milk. So the question is, for whom is the mother's milk meant for? Isn't it right? This is what nature is, right? But this is what is supposed to be, but what we do, we separate, right? And what are we made to believe? That's the best part. We are made to believe that the entire human species has to depend on the cow for its requirements. Right? Everybody. Humans, probably the most unnatural creation is this. You know, humans are the only species on this planet that continue to drink milk even as adults. That too not of our mother but of some other species. Why? It's all marketing. If you go through the history of how dairy has come to this stage, you will see that every time there was a surplus with the dairy industry and somehow they tried to promote it with advertisements and things like that, but that's a separate topic altogether. Because cigarettes were promoted as healthy products by doctors. They were promoted. That was the situation. That is the power. When you have money, you can make the world go round, or if you have enough money, you can make it go flat also. It depends on how you want to use that money to believe, make people believe. From it is possible to survive on milk, we have now come to it is impossible to survive without milk. So what is the problem with milk? If you see the environmental footprint, comparing it with soy milk, it has 3 times more emissions, 10 times more pollution, 13 times more land requirement and 22 times more water requirement. When COVID came in, we blamed China. China ke wajah se sab ho raha hai. But all epidemics in the past have had a link to animal farming. Why? because we crowd millions of animals together, we raise them in filthy conditions, and we pump them with antibiotics. As doctors, we are told not to consume, misuse antibiotics. 80% of all antibiotics are used on animal farms with no regulations there. And these are all antibiotics that we require for humans also, right? And no wonder it is leading to antibiotic resistance. Through the food, water and soil, it is all coming to us, causing zoonotic diseases responsible for millions of lives lost. In fact, 75% of emerging infectious diseases originate in animals. We are just waiting for the next pandemic to come and hit us. What does the future Earth look like? Sorry, I'm just confused because, no, but it's half an hour, right? So we started at 11:30, if I'm not mistaken. No, yeah, so, otherwise I'll rush through, otherwise okay, thank you. So Earth's surface, it's 29% of land, okay? 71% is water. Out of this, 71% is habitable land, out of which 50% of land is used for agriculture. Now this is a huge amount, okay? If you look at all the infrastructure, the cities, roads and everything that we have built, it's only 1%. And 50% of the land is used for agriculture. What is even more shocking is out of this, 77% goes for animal agriculture. Only 23% is used for plant agriculture. And the biggest surprise is from this 77%, we are getting only 18% of the global calories. The 82% of calories are coming from the 23% that is used for plant agriculture. Now suppose, let's assume the world shifts to a plant-based diet. What will happen? All calories will come from plants. You will require, instead of 23%, only 24%. That is all the increment that we are going to require. And this 76% land will become free. You know how much this is? This is equivalent to the continents of North and South America. That's 1/3 of entire land surface, more than the entire surface area of the moon. That much land will be free to regrow forest or whatever we want to do with it. Now look at the contrary. Suppose the world shifts to an animal-based diet. Okay, we can't go full animal, that everybody knows. We require plants. Chalo, theek hai, 18% plants ko de diya. 82% calories are now coming from animal products. What will happen? We'll first require the entire agricultural land. That is still not enough. We'll have to take over all the forest. Still the land will not be enough. We will have to occupy all the habitable land. We will have to go and stay on Mars. Okay, still the land will not be enough. We will have to start keeping cows and everything on glaciers and barren lands and everywhere. Still the land will not be enough. We will have to go and start doing animal agriculture on the moon. And for that little 18%, some amount of land will be required. See how much resources that thing is taking. And we are laughing here, but this is happening because if you see, the amount of meat and dairy consumption is going up day by day. In fact, by 2050, the demand may double if nobody does anything about it. And this will lead to territory wars. Where will the land come from? People will start going into each other's countries. In fact, this was a paper just last week has come out. Economics of food system transformation. Madam was talking about the food system transformation. What they have said, if the current diet is followed continuously, there will be 640 million underweight people. This is by 2050. 70% increase in obesity. See, both sides, underweight and obesity, both are going to happen. And global warming will be more than 2.7%. They have suggested if we do a diet change, then we can eradicate undernutrition, obesity rates can be reversed, and global warming can be kept below 1.5, which is the main point. And what is this new diet change? They have clearly stated a universal increase in consumption of whole grains, fruits, vegetables and nuts, less consumption of ultra-processed foods, animal source foods consumption significantly reducing. What does that mean? Whole foods, plant-based diet. They have said everything without saying that because they don't want to offend too many people. Okay? These are the charts taken from there. See, this is what the livestock has to come down. If not, this is how it will go. They have said, see the amount consumption of plant which has to increase. This is the predicted. They have said by 2050, this is what should happen for us to survive. See the amount of plants intake which has to increase. And what will this leader do? This will reduce the global prematurity deaths and it will reduce global obesity rates. Some say that, oh, what will happen to the poor farmers who are doing animal agriculture? There are studies on that also, financial viability. Food systems currently destroy more than they create. In fact, we are borrowing from the future for profits of today. The future is, there's nothing left for our next generation. Harm is more than 10 trillion US dollars every year. That is the financial problem that we are having because of animal agriculture. We know what is trillion now. And it has said that global adoption of a predominantly plant-based diet will contribute an additional 2% to the global GDP, and economic boost will come across all income groups, in low-income countries as well as high-income countries. So that is what is the prediction. So to summarize, if you see the impact of animal agriculture, it will cause ocean damage, deforestation, species loss. It is responsible for greenhouse gas emissions and climate change. It is responsible for air pollution, water pollution. It is causing food shortage, land shortage, water shortage. It is also responsible for pandemics and probably future land wars, other than causing malnutrition, premature deaths and obesity. One single industry causing all this. Please understand, name one other industry which is responsible for so much damage to us and the planet. So, if we wish to not die yet, we have to choose the right diet. We may keep debating on which diet is better for an individual, but there is no debate on which diet is better for the planet, for the earthlings, for our children, for our species and for our survival. We have to shift to a plant-based diet, because by adopting a plant-based diet, every single person every day can save lives, can save food, can save the climate, forest, water and their own health. Diet change, United Nations has clearly stated, is the single biggest way to reduce our impact on the environment. It is far bigger than cutting down your flights or buying an electric car. I have been on for 5 years on a plant-based diet. So going by the same calculations, I have saved water which can feed 10,000 people for a year. I have saved grains which can feed 200 people for a year. I have saved forest the size of 20 tennis courts. I have saved emissions that can come from a car driven for 1,25,000 kilometers, besides saving 400 animal lives and probably adding a few months to my own life. This is the power of one person. No, don't clap for me. Each one of you has the same power. That's what I'm trying to tell. All you have to do is choose something else on your plate. It has given me some personal benefits also. From this, I have been able to come to this. Disclaimer, this is not just diet, you will have to work out also. Because muscles are not built in the kitchen, they are built in the gym. Okay, but this, what I'm saying is, this diet also empowers you to do all things that you want to do. Even my blood reports have come down much better. I've been able to do things which previously I was too lethargic and not feeling well to do, but don't go by me. Look at the top athletes, all swear by plant-based diets. And this is not something new. Since 1900s, people have been winning gold medals, multiple gold medals on plant-based diets. Today also, all fields are equipped, are people who are, excelling with plant-based diets. Anybody wants to ask them, what about your protein? These are all whole food plant-based diet bodybuilders, okay? The position of the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics clearly states vegan diets are nutritionally adequate, provide health benefits appropriate for all stages of life, pregnancy, lactation, infancy, childhood, adolescence, and athletes as well. More environmentally sustainable, which we already seen. And more doctors are now following that. But what we'll say, no, I'm not going to change. Why? What is the only reason? According to me, the only reason why people don't change are taste buds. We no longer eat to live, we have started living to eat. Question is, are we even willing to die to eat? Because we are literally eating our way to extinction. So to conclude, what we are not changing we are choosing. So by not changing what is coming to your plate and opting for a plant-based diet, you are actually choosing the chicken industry, the mutton industry, the pork industry, the beef industry, the fish industry, the egg industry, and the dairy industry. We are choosing this by not opting out. Taste prevents us from seeing the pain of our fellow creatures. And these are the creatures. Okay, we love them. It's not that we don't like animals. We love animals. When we watch these cartoons, we all enjoy and we cheer for them. But when the same things come on our plate, that is forgotten. So the question is, does your heart agree with a diet that depends on such practices? Does your mind agree with a diet that is causing our own extinction? There is no planet B. We have to eat like we live here. We are what we eat. So let us eat the rainbow, not the morgue. Let us choose wisely. Let us choose a diet that won't let us die yet. Thank you so much.
Thank you, dear ophthalmologist, for opening our eyes. Okay, so, and also, I'm sorry for that bell. Actually, that bell was, I was just thanking God that time. Thank you, we are not die yet. Okay, so now we have Dr. Ajoy Prabhu with us for his session. So we are just setting up the stage for that. Just wait for 2 minutes. Also,
be happy to answer. Yeah, please, take mine.
Hi, can I check if these lab-based meats, can they influence or change this downward trend of the food pyramid and other things, the lab cultured meats?
Yeah, definitely. As far as the environment is concerned, they are far better than actual meat. But again, they will be in some form processed. And till they are actually available to us, we would not be in a good position to comment as far as the health implications of those, lab. But yes, environmentally, they will be far, far better. And even now, a lot of mock meats are available. And obviously, I mean, it's a matter of taste, like I said. And any habit takes around 2 to 3 months for us to change. So even if today you start having, say, a soy product, and for 3 months you try that out, you would have forgotten. I was a non-vegetarian before. I used to love dairy, everything. It's a matter of time. Now I don't even recollect how those things tasted. And I don't even feel like having those. So it's a matter of taste. People take efforts to smoke and enjoy smoking or drinking. Initially nobody likes it, but they develop the taste. Why can't we develop the taste for something that is healthy and good?
Sure, thanks.
Yeah, ma'am. Thank you.
All, I want to thank you for that. In one of your slides, as we also know that you have said that animals are given antibiotics, which is deleterious to our health. But we also know that fruit, vegetables, agriculture, they are saturated with pesticides. So what do we do?
Yeah, so that's a very good question, madam. But what you have to understand that as you go higher, higher, higher on the food pyramid, all these toxins are going to get more and more concentrated. If you eat an animal, that animal has already fed on the crops which have been fed with pesticides. You understand? So it's all accumulating, going through there and coming here. If you have directly the vegetables, you will have lesser amount of that. Of course, we can go towards organic farming and things like that. That will happen eventually. But today, if you compare the two things, there's a huge difference. Even microplastics, that's the new thing. Everything is getting concentrated through animals and coming to us. Yes, ma'am, you want to say something? Mike?
So that's why we have to go to the ways of ethnic culture living, where Sir also mentioned about the 4 blue zones. If we start eating seasonal, local, hyper-local and wild,
Like if you ask a person of Bombay how many vegetables you eat, they'll have 6 names for life, they'll eat only those 6 vegetables. Also, we know that we have at least 5,000 varieties of green leafy vegetables. So if we start eating seasonal fruits and vegetables, the abundance is so much for the farmer, they have no reason to put lots of pesticides. But for example, if we are having apples in summers, they will have to put it into cold storage and use various varieties to keep them from perishing. So that is also one thing that can help us.
Thank you so much. Can we move on to the next speaker?
Yeah.
We'll take the questions later.
I have a request with the audience. Kindly just keep your questions in the parking bay and we will answer all of them after the panel session. If anybody has an urgent question, of course, they can call us aside. But kindly please let the flow continue unless it's not urgent. Is that okay? Thank you so much.